Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to analyze and give an overview of Olympic champion Shannon Miller from the US. Shannon and I were both part of the same gymnastics generation. We were both on the Olympic tour together, so I got to know her a little bit and watch her train throughout the tour. There are a few things that stand out to me about Shannon. She got the highest all-around score of any American gymnast in history with the old 10-0 code. Her score was 38.875. 4 10s make a perfect score of 40, so that's pretty incredible. She was one of the cleanest women's gymnasts I've ever seen, and notwithstanding a bobble here and there on the beam, I can't recall when she actually had a big form break anywhere. If she did, it was incredibly rare, and you'll see that throughout this video. I consider her work ethic above average. She was a machine with her training and routines when I saw her train, and that was only on tour. I imagine training before a major competition was even better. The superstars of gymnastics are separated from the stars because of their attention to specifics and details. Shannon was very specific and exact with her gymnastics. She has 16 world and Olympic medals from 1991 until 1996. But what's personally very impressive to me is that she won the gold on the balance beam in the 1996 Olympics very near to the end of her career. She was world competitive until the end of her career. Let's get started with the analysis. I've seen Shannon make small changes to her routine over the years as she increased her difficulty. She would most often mount with a straddle L pressed to handstand facing one direction or the other, and then showing a form of flexibility in her handstand. I think this was a comfortable start for her. I've also seen her mount with a front tuck, and she also used a front tuck within her routine for a while, which she did very well. Here's a side-by-side of Svetlana Boginskaya and Shannon doing a running front flip on the beam. Svetlana always landed lower like this, as it lowered her center of gravity to be more stable, where Shannon lands much higher and with more virtuosity. Now this is cool and done so well. A gainer layout to a one-leg scale. Very controlled and impressive. This was not a one-time thing, as I saw Shannon do this on many occasions. She has to spot the beam and control that momentum to stop in this one-leg scale position. Here's her full turn. I've never seen her bobble on this skill. Her back extension to handstand here looks comfortable, like she's doing it on the floor, and it's right into a back handspring step out to a layout 2 feet landing. She just so often lands so solid and comfortable, never really seemingly being nervous or tight. Her slender body type contributed to her elegance, as we see in these complete split leaps. This is a back handspring with a quarter turn to a handstand. She keeps it small, like a dive back walkover to a quarter twist, and she was very consistent. She actually created her own skill based on this skill called the Miller. It's a back handspring with a quarter twist to an immediate half pirouette. Again, she keeps the back handspring very low, like a jumping back walkover, to help her control and quickly pirouette into her split handstand. The split helps her greatly to balance at the end of the skill, and you can see how quickly she gets into the split handstand. Very innovative and very consistent. This is 3 consecutive layout step-outs done incredibly solid. She never loses momentum or rhythm and stays constant throughout this series. It seems if the beam were longer, she could just keep going. Here's a side-by-side of Tatiana Gutsu and Shannon. They have similar types of body styles, not just in their beam series, but in their overall gymnastics as well. I put in this Valdez because I once heard that Shannon really enjoyed doing Valdezes. I'm not sure if she was joking or not though. Her dismount was a round-off full-in back out, or a double back with a full twist. She stood up very fast and was consistently patient and squared off for her takeoff. Right here, with her head even to the beam, she makes this full in very easily. She starts her twist a bit earlier on the floor, but she doesn't need to square off like she does on the beam. However, once she leaves the ground, her technique is the same on the beam and the floor, and they look very similar. No matter how she landed, she presented like she just won. Here's a whip back to 2 back handsprings into a full in or a double back with a full twist. Look at her form. This is one of Shannon's defining characteristics for all of her gymnastics. Her legs are completely glued together. Her body is tight and moves like one unit. This is really great technique. Look here, it looks like she's gonna fly out of bounds because her feet are so far under her, but she so quickly adjusts, stepping back, and just presents like it was planned. She was a smart gymnast. Each one of her splits could have been a poster, as they were ideal in her technique and execution. It's in these kind of details you can see how efficiently she trained. She gave an effort for perfection in the big and the small skills alike. I just put this in because I thought it was cool. Here's a standing back handspring to generate height into another ideal leap position. Really classic and beautiful gymnastics. Nice Terminator pose. Then to an elegant Valdez. This is her whip back to 2 back handsprings into a double pike. Again, on the head-on angle, you can see how glued together her legs are with her trademark excellent form. Good set and very controlled double pike. She ends with a full in back out, and it's slightly lower than her mount, but she lands with the same control as she did in her mount. Just great execution in every skill in transition, and really focusing on the small details. This is dance with elegance, precision, and training. Really very nice. On her Yurchenko layout full, her legs are so tight they almost look like one leg. No separation at all and a great stuck landing. Beautiful. I think she was unique to perform in competition very similar to how she trained both physically and mentally. This made her a very consistent and legendary performer. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Feel free to like and subscribe and leave any thoughts in the comments. Until next time, rock on.